Good morning. I'm going to show you today how to log in and create a Noteflight account so that you can write music on the computer. So the first thing that we're going to do is start in our Clever account. So you should all already know how to log into your Clever account. Right now I'm logged in as Luis Martinez, and so I am going to go ahead and find the music page for Miss Ely, which is right here in the middle. You can see my avatar right there. Go ahead and click on that. And here is my Clever page with all of the links that I have available. We're going to go ahead and go into this Write Music category right here. And today we're going to use the program called Noteflight. So it's this second icon here with the whole note. Go ahead and click on that. And it's going to bring me to, actually I am already logged in, so hold on, let me log myself out. Here is the first page that you're going to see where you get to sign up for a free account. So go ahead and click on Sign Up Free when you get to this page. Now before you sign up, you're going to need to consent to the terms of use, so go ahead and click that first box that says I consent to Noteflight's terms of use and privacy policy. Then you're going to come over here to the right side of the screen and click on Sign Up using Google. Now you're going to find your name in the list of users. You should already be logged into the Chromebook. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Luis's name since that's the account I'm going to create. Alright, and now on this screen it's just going to help you to set up your account. You really don't need anything down here in this gray kind of tan box down here, but you do need to create a Noteflight username. So I suggest that your username be exactly the first part of your email address right here, okay? So I'm just going to do LuisM1120, and if you click on Get Started right now, it will be fine. You could also, if you want to, you could go ahead down here and click the radio button that says I'm a student. I'm using Noteflight to write music or arrange music. If you want to select your primary instrument, go ahead and select flute first. It's the closest to recorder. Remember, we're composing for recorder music right now, so if you select flute, then your music will be all set up for the treble clef. If you want to rate yourself as a composer, you are beginner composers and beginner performers. But again, you really don't need anything in this tan box, so you can go ahead and just click Get Started after you put your username. Now, if when I put Get Started, the username is already taken or it says it's unavailable, then I will have to change it to something else, and I suggest then using your last name and first initial along with your 4-digit code from your ID. But make sure you try not to use your full name for privacy issues. We just want to make sure it's secure. And then also, please don't do any made-up names like Fortnite 5310 or something like that, because I do need it to be connected to you, and I have so many students, I like to know who it is just by looking at the username. Okay, so I'm going to click Get Started. Looks like that was fine. So now I'm on my home page of Noteflight. Now it's going to bring up some help boxes. I really don't need those, so I'm going to click Got It. Alright, on your home page here you have a couple things. Over here on the right side is your account page. You can see when I hover over it, it kind of opens up the side there to peek on. I'm going to click on that, and then I can get into my account. If you want to change the language to Spanish, you can do that. I would just keep it on English for right now. Going back to the other side, if you go to the whole note here, you can see another kind of peeks over to the back there. Click on it, and now I have a menu that is just exactly like the menu on the top of the page, but sometimes I forget that it's on the top there, so that there's a menu also underneath there. It also has a place where you can get help and support, and we're going to use the community tab later when we're finished making our scores. Alright, so now we're ready to create our first score. We don't have any scores in there so far, so we're going to just go ahead and click Create. Click the plus sign on the top here. And now it's loading my score. So we're going to create, starting from a blank score sheet, leave that first button checked and click OK. All right, and there you have it. So now I am in my workspace for my score. I notice right now that it actually did give me a blank piano score instead of a flute score. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and change my staff so that it looks like just a treble clef staff. I don't need the grand staff with the treble and the bass clef like it is for piano right now. So up here at the top in the menu we have a parts button. It looks like a guitar. Go ahead and click on that first. And then over here in the parts menu, I do see indeed it is piano. So I'm going to click on the pencil icon here to edit the parts. And then I don't want piano, I want the flute sound. Again, that's just this pretty similar to recorder. So go ahead and select flute, click OK. And now I have 2 treble staffs. Now, you're not going to need 2 staffs on here, so you can go ahead and delete one of them by clicking over on the side, and you'll see when I click on the side, on the left side over here, it's allowing me to highlight either the top or the bottom staff. I'm going to delete the bottom staff by highlighting and pressing my delete key on my keyboard. And there it goes. Goodbye. So let's close that box, and now I am back to my score. I have 4 blank measures here where I'm going to be able to write my music. Now you're going to use your composition that you've already written for recorder, and you're going to enter in your 4 measures here. Now on your paper it is stacked on top of each other, but on the screen here it is all in one row. So just be aware of that. You should only have 4 measures in your composition, and it should only have 1 line here. Okay, so now that I'm ready to start entering my notes in, I'm going to go ahead and just put my arrow in the measure that I want. Click on it, and you'll see a blinking cursor come up, and then my arrow will change to the note head, and I can put that in whatever line or space that I want. So in my composition, I have a B quarter note that is first. So I'm going to go ahead and put my note head right here on the 3rd line and just click. And you'll see the note just dropped right in there. I heard the sound of the B, and when it's orange, that means it is selected. All right, if I made a mistake, I can change the note by either clicking on it and dragging it up and down. Or I can use my arrow keys also. So if I wanted an A, I could just arrow one down and it changes. Notice that it automatically flips my stem to how it needs to be. You don't need to change the stems at all. All right, my next note is also a B, so I'm going to go ahead and go after the blinking cursor right over that rest and do that. And then I have an A and a G. Whoops. Try that again. Put my cursor back there and click a G. Alright, so that was my first measure. The composition I'm using is the first one that was AABA, so my second measure is going to look exactly the same as the first measure. B, B, A, and G. Just clicking those in there. Alright, my next measure has some 8th notes in it, and it also has a rest. So what I'm going to do is click on the 8th note tool up here in the duration menu. So up here is all of our little menu bars. So we have one for the score, one for duration, one for pitch. If you don't see a duration menu, click on the 3 lines over here on the side and it will bring up the menu. The duration menu should be checked, and that's where you get all of your rhythms. Duration means the length of the note. Do not click on this rhythm, that's just an extra rhythm menu. Duration is the one we need. Mine's already up here, so I want the 8th note, which is the one with the single flag. And now I have an 8th note. Oops, I did not want that to be an 8th note in this measure. I have to actually put the note head in first. So it's 2 B's, and I will do an 8th note there. Okay, and then another 8th note B. And you'll see as long as the 8th note button is selected up here, all the notes that I'm going to be clicking in now will be in 8th notes. And so I want 2 more B's, 8th notes. Okay, so now I have B, 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 and then I have a G, which is a quarter note. Whoops. Let's go back to make that an 8th note. You can also use the Command Z option to go back and undo the last mistake that you made, and you can do that as many times as you want to. Okay, so just again, remember the note head has to be in front of the cursor, not behind it. And so I'm going to collect in my G here, but I want that to be a quarter note. So now that it is selected orange, I'm going to change it to a quarter note there. And then if you don't put any notes in the rest of the measure, it will automatically put in the rest for you. So that's awesome. I don't need to do anything more there because it's already done for me. Okay, now my last measure is the same as the first two measures because my composition is AABA form. So I'm going to show you another way. I'm going to click in this measure and I'm going to use my keyboard now to enter just the notes B, B, A, and G. And again, I'm just typing these in with my keyboard. B, B, A, G, right there. Okay, and it added an extra measure for me at the end here. So if you do not want that, you're just going to click a little bit above the measure and then use this little gray circle with a minus sign to delete that extra measure. All right, and now I have my composition all plugged in here. You can go up to the top to the play arrow and go ahead and play your piece if you'd like to hear it. Here's what mine sounds like. All right, and again, if you don't like that or you made a mistake, you can go back and select any of the notes, highlight them, use your arrow keys to move them up or down, use the durations to change the rhythm if you need to. But if you're all set to go and you like your composition, then you're ready to give it a title. Click in the title option. I'm going to name mine My Cool Song. And I'm going to put myself as the composer. Now remember, I am in the account for Luis right now, so I am actually going to put his name and initial. Go ahead, and it already saves it for you automatically, but I'm just going to go ahead and come up here to the cloud arrow and save it one more time before I go and share it. Okay, so now I'm going to just stop the video here for today, and I'm going to make another video after you're finished and let you play around a little bit, and then you can watch the second video for how to share your song once you have it in here, and how to add it to our group in Noteflight, our Noteflight music class group. All right, so I hope you learned a lot. Have fun putting in your music, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Bye-bye.